a little rusty on this, so.
Biohazard 2.
Right, so opening line, you can choose to either run around the zombies like this, which is obviously safer, and honestly the other method doesn't matter too much, which involves you doing the complete opposite. Sometimes the zombie heroes spawn, but very easy to dodge, so. But if you just do whatever line you want, but I honestly don't think it matters.
Don't shoot!
Run through the middle if you want to be cool. Maybe save a few frames. And then here we're gonna go over the court dodge for Claire. You can actually do this without having to shoot the zombies. Like that. And I'm pretty sure I saved on good pattern right there. Yeah, I feel like doing another one because that Leon A one made me a little sour. I don't know. So anyway, court dodge. A lot of the dodges in this game pretty much involve the zombie in the middle. I don't know why, it just happens to be one zombie. The other ones don't matter too much. So... oh shit, hold on. Missing a crucial button. There we go. So... oh wait, I don't have my freaking paint up. No, I don't need to draw. I'm just gonna use the mouse. I don't feel like drawing. That's too much work. Where's OBS? Oh. Okay, sorry. I was just confused. Where's the mouse though? I don't see the mouse. Capture mouse cursor? My ass. I don't see it. Okay, I guess I do have to draw on it. No, I'll just do it like this. Fuck it. Anyway, that zombie right there and the yellow shirt, that's the one you want to pay attention to for this dodge. Now, I'm pretty sure I wasted too much time to even do this, so I'm gonna reload. And I don't think I can run by, maybe. But usually you want to look at him. And then if it looks like you can get the dog, you can make an attempt. Like that. And yes, it does look like I'm gonna get grabbed, but... oh. I guess it's time-based? Yeah, it looks like it's time-based. Oh yeah, that's definitely time-based, because it took my sweet-ass time. Yeah, so actually it's the first two zombies in front. It's not so much just the middle. But yeah, that's the amount of spacing you need to get that dodge. And then the ways you can actually turn around there, you can manually turn and aim turn like that and then run. You don't want to go for the dodge, just take the bite right there. I would just suggest doing that, especially if you're starting out. It's not really worth the effort for no damage. So take the bite from over here so that it shoves both zombies away. It's also possible to aim during the cutscene so that by the time the scene finishes, your character's already turning. Or just stick along the wall and hold the action button to go down the stairs and climb up. If you're misty here, you're gonna pre-turn slightly like this, and whatever side the zombie's on, you're gonna go past it. Now, crap, forgot to save again in the alley. Oh my god. Okay, I don't want to go into RPD with 2 bites. 1 bite's to death. So here the zombie spawn on my right side, so you can run behind it, but there's a small chance of him turning around. So if you're afraid of getting the dodge behind him, just go in front instead. And that entire wall you can open the door, so you don't need to worry about aiming directly for the door itself. And there's also a camera skip for this bus. And not sure how many of you are here for the quick shooting, but go ahead and talk about quick shooting. So, got 4 shots on Misty, which is terrible. 2 or 3 shots is the best to kill her. And then for the second zombie here, you're gonna aim down as well, since it's faster to begin shooting from aiming below. Because look, this is what it looks like if you were to try to shoot it without aiming down immediately. Just saves you time. Anyway, quick shooting. Turn on infinite ammo real quick. So this is what normal quick firing is. And to quick shoot, you're going to hold the aim button and mash the aim, or hold the confirm button, sorry, and mash the aim button at the same time. So right there I'm holding action, and I'm gonna start mashing the aim button. Now this varies with like every weapon in the game, because not every weapon fires the same. So the pistol is probably the fastest in terms of fire rate for quick shooting. So timing for this is pretty much continuously mashing R1. Pistol quick firing, you don't do a whole lot outside of the bus, really. This is like the only time you'll ever do it. For Claire, anyway. So, shoot down, aim, hit Misty, get the other zombie in 1 to 2 shots. But if you don't want to waste any bullets, you can do this. Really hard to get this dodge, but I'm gonna aim for it. This is really difficult, getting by Misty. I don't want to spend too much time here, so give it a couple tries. Okay, so I'll show you another method you can try doing for this. Shoot the zombie at the start, kill Misty, but since Misty took forever to kill, yeah, you can actually dodge the zombie if you don't want to shoot him. Since Claire is a lot smaller than Leon, she can get away with doing that. But I would just recommend shooting the zombie since it's faster. And a lot of the doors in this game are kind of shitty, so you'll have to like start turning towards them as you're running to trigger them. And then right there you want to pre-turn at the start and line up so that you're running directly to the door here. Dodge all these zombies again. So, yeah. Because if you try to run at the start, you're gonna run towards this zombie that's already right here. So, just pre-turn, run straight. And then here you want to pre-turn as well, just to avoid doing this at the start. You want to get a much better opening line to get to the courtyard, like that. Also, try not to get hung up on the wall here. Happens to me all the time. It's also possible to get hung up on this part here as well, when you try to start turning early towards the RPD gate. And then you can pretty much open the door from that part of the wall. And then here, pretty straightforward, just go down the stairs. And then what I usually like to do is obviously you start moving towards the stairs here. But I try not to turn too much, so I'll just turn maybe like right here. Because you can pretty much just line up your character to run directly to the door from here, at this angle. Because you always want to decrease the amount of movement you have to do to get to a room, so you don't want to be like, run too wide, turn too much. You always want to keep it like really minimal at best. So I just try to cut down movement where possible. And then we get Marvin, but since we're playing GameCube, we can skip this. Yeah, I should run again. I don't know. It's still fun from time to time. Oh shit. So after that cutscene, you want to turn towards your right, since Claire's already facing like this. Shorter distance for her to turn around, and then once you're facing about right here, you can run forward, turn right again. So be careful when you start turning right here. It's very easy to get caught on this part of the desk. So just kind of watch where your character's moving and then turn. You also want to try to make sure you get a really clean turnaround around right here. You don't want to run really wide to the computer. Something like that. And then for text scrolling, you want to keep your thumb. Watch it. I guess it depends on what version of the game. But for text scrolling, you can just hold the run button to keep it moving quicker. And that way, you can just continuously mash while the text is scrolling. And to exit this computer, you just need to keep the action button held down. You don't have to mash. And then after you exit the computer, turn around, hug the wall here, turn right here. You can just pretty much run straight and then start turning right here, and then you can trigger the door from this point. Room. Avoid the object in the middle, and then as soon as you get past here, you can trigger the door from this angle like this. Oh, and since Claire is already facing like slightly diagonally, you can just run forward perfectly around the corner. Why does that work? Hold on. Sorry. Okay, yeah, so you don't want to run forward like that because you'll get swiped or get lucky like that. But usually you just want to move to the left of the liquor as soon as you get control. Doesn't have to be a whole lot, just enough to where you don't get swiped. And then you can open the door from this point. Can I kill this liquor real quick? Sorry, I just want to kill this liquor so I can talk about doors. Ow. Okay, he's dead. Now I can talk about a lot of the doors in this game. So to trigger doors, you don't actually need to be directly in front of them, although that's not the case for a lot of doors. Like here, you can kind of open the door from right here. Like that. And I only bring that up just so you can save yourself the trouble of having to trigger stuff when you're in a rush or something. Because there's doors like the evidence room where it's really hard to tell where the correct position is and you end up missing the door and you can't open it. So this room here is pretty easy to navigate. Just need to watch the corners here, especially on the way back. Guess I should count the steps. So starting from here. So it's like 8 steps before you turn the corners. That sounds about right. 1, 2, whoops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I lost count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, it's 6. That's 6 for this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so that's 6 apparently. Yeah, just try not to get too greedy with the corners here, because if you try to turn early just to kind of brush up against the corner, you can get stuck. There's a lot of corners where that happens. That's how I usually like to get around these, is I'll start turning slightly into the wall, but not enough to where it'll get me stuck. And right there you can just kind of brush up diagonally around. And since we don't have the lighter, we don't go here until very later on. So after you get past this corner, you want to try to line up Claire so she's like this. That way when you get around, you can just start mashing towards the door. That zombie dog there is pretty straightforward. All you're doing is holding up left and then running forward. And then you can just keep running towards the stairs without stopping. Just remember to like hold up left so that you're just moving up enough and then you can just move forward. You don't want to keep holding left while you're going this way. Go upstairs, and then you can hold up right and start running, and you can just continuously hold run, or not run, sorry. You can just keep holding right until you're angled around the corner like this. So at this point you can just keep running like that. And it lines you up perfectly for the statue. But you don't want to hold right too much to where you're running into the wall like this. So that's a pretty fail-safe way of not missing the statue when you go to push it. Like, yeah, you don't even have to turn there, so it's like 2.5 for Claire to get this out. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then a touch. Three pushes down. Now if you don't want to push it like this, you can do, what was it? Is that 9.5? I think it was like 9.5 or something. You can push it a little more just to be safe, so you don't have to re-push the statue again. And then here you want to pre-turn before you run out, so that you're ready to open the door here. Now a lot of mistakes that people make, even myself, like you'll start running towards the door and you'll forget to turn when you're like around here. And what ends up happening is you run past the door, you start turning towards it, and you examine the star sign instead. So just make sure that right after this camera change, you start turning towards the door. That way you'll never ever hit the sign ever again. Now here, I don't really think it matters what order you pick up anything. You can do grenade launcher first, and then get the diary. But I'm pretty sure I do grenade launcher first, since it puts the unicorn medal. Actually, no, it doesn't matter because it's always gonna be one input away. Yeah, you can do grenade launcher first, and then grab the medal. Doesn't really matter. When you go running towards the unicorn medal, it's just right there. Did I save before that room? Damn it. I didn't save. Just wanted to save before that file so I could explain how to skip that quick. I mean, not a whole lot behind it, you're just mashing the run button. But for some reason I struggle with it. So I find it better to actually let the text scroll before you skip it. So let's go grab the diary first. So from here it only takes two running steps, and then you start turning on the near the end of the second one. 1, 2, turn, and then you can grab the diary, no issue. So when you go to skip this, it's usually better to kind of give this time to sit there for like a little bit after it's shown up on screen. Because I don't know, for some reason I struggle to get this to go by quick. Like that was pretty slow. That was a little faster. I don't know if it's my mashing, but it feels like it goes away quicker if you let it load. But it's probably mash speed, to be honest. Yeah, it might be mash speed, but I feel like if you give it time to actually sit there, it'll skip quicker. Yeah. To do that, just kind of let the text sit there for like half a second before you skip it with the run button. And then if you're grabbing unicorn medal right after screen face. Yeah, let me try that. Let's see. Yeah, I can't seem to get it. I don't know. I'm terrible with that. So after you grab the unicorn medal, you can just run to the side of the locker. You don't need to be in front of it. You can even open it from like right here. And then grab your grenade launcher. And then pre-turn the same way you would when you're coming in. Gonna hold up left here and then run towards the statue. Takes 3 pushes to get it out. And then 9.5 to put it inside the pressure plate. So let's say you forget to push or you lose count of your pushes. Anytime you finish that 5th push, it'll let you know that you got the camera change. So I don't know. I don't know if this happens to many people, but you lose track of your pushes and you're on this camera change as soon as you're in the middle of your pushing. Just remember that you're on your 6th push. That'll kind of help you remember in case. See, like right there, I didn't even keep track of counting, but I remembered how many I had left. So after you push it from here, all the way here, you have 4.5 pushes left to go. So, in case you forget, you have that to reference. And then from here, you just run diagonally across the hallway like this, starting from here. Doesn't matter if you brush up against the wall as long as you're not doing this. It's okay to brush up against the wall. You're still maintaining full speed. And then when you descend these stairs, just run turn towards it. Don't do this. Don't pre-turn, that's a waste of time. Not saying pre-turn's bad, but pre-turning on this game is still has its uses, but you don't do it as much like RE1. So for that zombie there, if you try to run right out the beginning, it will most likely always grab you. So to avoid that, you're gonna either, you can stand here and let him walk forward a bit and then run, or you can press aim and then run directly past him. And it always lines you up perfectly for the door. But if you don't want to aim, you can just pre-turn and then run around him the same way. It's just removing the aiming animation, so you save a couple frames that way. And here, don't need to do any pre-turning, I just run out the door and hold upright. Make sure to avoid the hand here. Now, to avoid the zombie hands over here, you don't want to do what I just did. So you just want to keep clear in the middle, pretty much like this. You don't want to run into the wall like this, because you can still get grabbed, even though you're at this part of the hallway. Oh, wait, that's Leon, sorry. I don't know, if you try doing that with Leon, it doesn't work. He always gets grabbed. But since Claire has a smaller hitbox, you can get away with that. So I guess you can just hug the wall on the right side, even with the table in the way. Yeah. But your goal here is just to pretty much stay in the center of the hallway. Get by the hands. I know like getting around the corner is the tricky part, because it's just work on like turning at the correct angle. And if you feel like you're gonna turn too far, just stop and realign yourself so that you go through the middle of the hallway, and then you won't get grabbed by the hands. And then just run on the inside of the liquor here. Alright, so we're gonna come up to our first bank, so as the room loads, just pre-turn a tiny bit like this, and then run, so that you're able to get around this corner really sharp and into the item box quickly. I mean, you could still get the same result running out, but it just looks a little messier, I guess. Yeah, like I'm running a little wider right there. That's a little cleaner to get through. That's about the same, but you just don't want to get hung up on this thing in the middle when you're moving towards the item box. This is where you have to bank. So you get to the item box, you have to get rid of the pistol and knife. And most people don't know that you can cycle through the item box really quick by using either R1 or O1. So you're gonna naturally just do this instead of doing it like this. Whoops, I forgot to bank the other one. Where are my items? Yeah, I just kind of get a feel for how that works. All you're doing is just banking handgun, and then as soon as you go to the knife, you hit R1 once, and then bank the knife. That way it removes the delay from just manually putting it down, because it takes time to actually go down manually. But what I'm just doing, I'm not even like timing the item skip right there like this. I'm just holding it. So that's how fast you could get it. But you're not supposed to bank everything, just the pistol and knife. After you bank that, you're gonna go ahead and place the unicorn medal here. Now you can place this medal from right here, or over here, like as far as like right here. You don't actually have to be in the center to get it, so figure out where you can place it by examining, and whenever you get that dialogue pop up, lets you know that you can place the item there. Now there's actually a strat that you can do with Claire if you want to get by this liquor. I didn't do it because I don't equip the grenade launcher since it... pretty sure it makes you slower by a bit. So that's how you get by the liquor in the hallway. And what I do here is this piece of paper that hold on, I don't want it chasing me. So I'll start running forward, and then when I reach this part of the hallway where the paper is, I start turning a tiny bit like this, so that when I turn the corner like that, the liquor usually will miss. Which door is this? Sorry. Oh, wrong door. So run forward until you get to the paper, turn a bit, and if you do it right, then the liquor will whiff. And then the other way you can do it so when you go to use the unicorn medal, people will usually equip the grenade launcher right here. Obviously not here, but at the unicorn medal trigger. And when you start running towards this liquor, you can get this nice line right here. Why it works, I have no idea. Whoops. But yeah, having the grenade launcher equipped lets you mess with the liquor AI for some reason, and it gives you that. So if you don't feel like doing that other dodge, you can just equip the grenade launcher when you go to use the unicorn medal, and then run by the liquor like that. Oh, here we are in the file storage room. Gonna hold up left, run. You get to the corner, hold up right, till you get to the step ladder here. So clear, I believe it takes 6 pushes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me try 5.5 and see what happens. Oh, okay, 5.5 works. I always thought it was 6. As for what part of the ladder you get off of, I usually get off on this side and then just run turn. But if you don't want to, you can turn around, get off this way, so that when you start turning around this corner, you don't get stuck on the shelf. Because getting off here, you're already hugging the wall. But it doesn't really matter. Yeah, we're just gonna hold upright, run towards the door. So red gem over here, it's pretty easy to miss this if you're trying to do this while running. So what I usually will do is, as soon as I get to the camera change, I know I have to start turning. I mean, obviously you have to, but it's very easy to miss this. So as soon as you get camera change, you start your turn. And you just need clear to be facing like 45 degrees like this to grab it. And then from this angle you can keep running towards the door like that. Instead of having to like, I don't know, pick it up like this. And then you have to readjust your position, because if you start running you're just gonna keep going in this direction. So if you can, just kind of pick it up at an angle so that you run by the statue, no problem. So what it looked like from the beginning. Not much going on here, just run past the zombie. Use the key, discard it. And yeah, nothing here, so just run forward. Open the door. We're not going to do the library puzzle yet. So just hold upright and run, and you're already lined up with the door here. And then hold up left, run, stay along the railing here. Zombie won't be able to get you, and then just pretty much just stay along this railing until you get to here, and then stay along the wall, start turning toward the door, mash. So the lighter's on the bench right there. You're just gonna hold upright and run towards it while mashing action. And then pre-turn a bit so that you can face the door. Also, avoid the ink ribbon, so don't mash until you're past the typewriter. Here you can pre-turn if you want, but it doesn't matter a whole lot. I just run turn towards the door. Crow hallways, pretty straightforward. Just try to avoid bumping into the crow. Don't get caught in the corner right there. Very easy to happen. Just gonna hold upright, run, turn right, then when you get here, make sure you start making clear face towards the steps. The trigger here is pretty annoying, so you can't trigger it like this, unfortunately, even though it looks like I can. So you need to already be like facing pretty much like, yeah, you have to do a complete turn pretty much. There's no... Oh, you can get it at an angle too. Never mind. But yeah, just keep that in mind when you're going towards the stairway. That is a good question. I don't know. Maybe they're made out of metal, but they can break windows. But if they crash into you, they fall down. Or they crash into a wall, they fall down. But windows, no problem. So dodging Misty there's pretty easy. The way I did it's a little bit riskier because you have to pre-turn and then start running. If you want to do this safely, you can just hold up left and you'll get around the zombies all the time. Other way you can do this is, you have the grenade launcher equipped, you can aim and then run past Misty like that. But I'm not sure if it works all the time. I know you can get grabbed sometimes. Oh, you can even pre-turn like that and dodge her, but I would recommend just holding up left and running like that. And then the way I do it, I have to pre-turn, and that only just cuts down the amount of space you need to get around her, and also avoids the camera change that's over here. Then you're gonna run behind the lamp. Get to the door. Hold upright and run. The valve here is kind of in a terrible spot, but as long as you avoid the chair, you can still grab it from right here. Then after you grab it, you can turn either to your left or right, doesn't matter. Gonna take the same line from the entrance. And if you want, you can try to dodge Misty that way, but pretty sure it's random. So don't expect to get that dodge all the time. And that's why you run behind the lamp. So, pretty sure I saved on a good pattern there, so that's always gonna work. More consistent way is just running in between the zombies like that. Can be a little tricky, but it's the best way to kind of let yourself knowing when to turn is just, just look at where your character is really in proportion with the zombies. Because it is easy to just run into this guy because you turned too early. Or you do this. This happens to me all the time with Misty. So I get past the first zombie fine, but then I cut in too early on Misty. So always give yourself the space to get by both zombies. Okay, run forward, turn left. Oh man, I kinda wish I was on the, what was it, PS1 version. I can't talk about menus too much now. Anyway, we're just gonna use the Valve handle here, but if you're on the PS1 or PC version, if you're using a controller, the way you would fast menu on this, instead of just holding down, you would, if you know how to do like sweeping motions on like fighting games, you would do a quarter circle from right to down. I know it doesn't make a whole lot of sense talking about it. It'd be easier if I showed you. But it would look like this pretty much. And the only reason why I'm able to do it on the GameCube version is I'm using analog and D-pad to do this. And that's much harder to explain, so I'm not gonna bother. But that's how fast you can get to the slot where the valve is, or any item in slot 5. So item numbers I'll go over real quick. So default one that you go into from hitting menu is slot 1. This is slot 2, slot 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then that's pretty much all the things you need to know for slot numbers and how to get around them for certain tricks. So since I can't do diagonals with the D-pad alone, there's like certain ways you can get around it. So for the odd number slots on this side, if you hit left, it'll bring you diagonally back up this way. And then for your even slot numbers right here, if you hit right, it'll bring you diagonally to the bottom. So like let's say I wanted to get to this valve, or maybe right here, slot 8 or 7. I can just do this instead of holding down, although holding down's probably the better thing to do. It's really like situational when you want to do these menu tricks, but that's just another way to kind of compensate for the lack of diagonals on the GameCube. But anyway, let's just use the valve handle. Oh yeah, and for exiting menu, you don't want to do this. Like if you're hitting the run button to exit, just press menu instead. Just saves you one input. And then run towards the door. I usually like to run on the outside to avoid the crows, because sometimes they get out. Why is that one frozen? Yeah, those last two crows have a tendency to kind of push you. If you're trying to take the inside line, they're already trying to move. And they get in the way, so... like that. Oh, wait. Maybe I'm getting confused with the other crows. Never mind. And I'm just gonna hold upright and run. Turn the corner. Return towards the door. Now since we only have one red gem, we can only use the very first one from the statues. So place that to get rid of it, for the space. And we're gonna turn around, run back out. Return a tiny bit, then remove. Probably cut that corner a little shorter. Like that. Now if you didn't bank the pistol and knife from earlier, you can do it here. But it's probably better to just not do it here, because you'll notice how like much emptier the items are without the pistol and knife already inside. Like, yeah. So if we already had these two items, you'd be using more slots up early on. So it's better to just free all that space up early. But that's just in case you forgot to bank, that's your last chance. pre-turn a bit, so Claire's facing right about here. Then run forward. Turn to left a tiny bit. And then it'd be lined up at the door correctly. Let's try that again. It's yeah, GameCube emulator on PC. If you don't like cutscenes, I'd recommend GameCube. If you don't like doors, PC version, if you can get it to work. And then yeah, emulator in general is just good for practicing, so you can do stuff like this. Pre-turn, run, turn left a bit. Adjust if you have to get to the door. Yeah, you just want it so that you don't have to waste too much time getting to this door trigger. I don't know, I just like running directly to doors instead of having to turn. Use the paper to let yourself know when to turn. And then now we're gonna grab the second red gem from the fireplace. When you go to use the lighter, you can pretty much just use it right here. You don't need to be in the center. And then what I like to do when I go to pick this up, instead of going forward, grabbing it, I'll run turn towards it, holding up left, so that Claire's already facing like this. I know it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but it's just to kind of save time on turning. So it's kind of like a pre-turn in a sense, sort of. So I'll grab it at an angle like this. And then I can just turn like that. Now, which side of the room you decide to go through, doesn't matter. You can go here if you don't want to get caught in the chairs. I just stick to the middle since I'm used to doing that. So, grab the gem, leave. If you want to take the middle route, let's see if I'm lined up. You can just run like diagonally to get through the tables, so you don't have to do a lot of turning. And then there you go. And hold up right here, run diagonally across. It's messier. I'm pretty sure Claire can always get away with doing this. I'll show you in a second. You can run out the door like that and get by her. But I'm not entirely sure because I have gotten grabbed. But if you want to be quick, you can do that. Leon can also do that as well, but since he's slightly bigger than Claire, he can get grabbed more frequently. So if you want to be safer, you run forward a little bit, and then run behind. So if you want to avoid getting spawn grab, the best method to do this is you run always in front of the zombies so that it doesn't give them any time to actually react to you when you run by. So just kind of make it look like you're about to run into the zombie, but then go to their side once you get close. And then the other way you can do it is just pre-turn and then go behind, but that also puts you at risk sometimes. So evidence room, that's what happens if you try to run through immediately. If you get a bad pattern, but actually, no. Every time I say like, oh, you can't do this, I end up doing it. So yeah, Claire can do that. Not sure if you can do it on every pattern in that room. Because sometimes that zombie's moving slow or fast, or he's not even moving much. Yeah, I don't really recommend doing that, but if you want to do it slow, just let the zombie walk a bit, and then walk by when you see an opening. Now the thing with Claire here is you have to take the extra step of opening this locker here. Which kind of sucks, but you have to do it. So after you get this text, get ready to run out, and try not to get grabbed by that zombie. After I grab this detonator piece, assuming the zombie's not going to spin, I'll stop for a bit just to line up myself for the door. Although you can run towards the door after you pick that up. That still works, yeah. Just make sure you're facing the door. Let me clear these zombies out. Because naturally, you know, you're rushing through the room trying to get out. And you'll find yourself doing this. Like, you have to remind yourself that the door is not on this part of the room, it's actually over here. So, after you grab the detonator piece, you have to start angling yourself towards the door. Actually, I'm running more towards the left of the screen here. So just keep that in mind when you're getting through. It's really easy to miss that door. And then I'll just show you how I do evidence room personally. I like to bait the zombie forward before I run past it. So I'll run forward for a tiny bit, and then I have to quickly turn around towards my right. But sometimes that happens. It's really hard to get this. But basically what I'm just doing there, I'm just trying to get the zombie to move out of the way so that I can run by safely. But the timing on it's pretty annoying. Oh wait, I forgot the detonator. Oh yeah, I forgot you can do that. So you don't actually need to be directly in front of where that locker is. That the entire space where the lockers are, you can get the detonator for the plastic. So even though the game shows the plastic coming out of this locker, you can get it from here too as well. Alright, time for Marvin. So he can come at you at different speeds, from fast or slow. I get slow Marvin. If you get slow Marvin, you'll notice how slow he's moving right now. So just kind of look at his arms. Actually, at this point you can't see his arms, but you'll notice his movement right here is pretty slow. If you get that one, you can run out the door the same way. But if you get fast Marvin, you have to take a slightly different line. Right there, I got slow Marvin again. Dang it. I need fast. You're right there, it's fast Marvin. So what some people will try to do, they'll try to run out the door like that, but since I gave him time to walk out the room, I got out no problem. Yeah, I don't know if this has to do with the fact that Claire's smaller, but I mean, I guess you could run out the room like that, as long as you're paying attention to where he's turning. But for me, I just don't like to take any chances, so I'll turn like this. Sorry. That's the thing with Fast Marvin, is he likes to spin around. But that's how I usually do it. I'll just grab detonator piece and then just let Marvin walk for a bit, because he takes quite a while to get around the room. I think she can outrun fast. I'm not sure though. Let's see. No, if I got freaking Fast Marvin again, or slow. Maybe not. Yeah, Fast Marvin's too hard to outrun, so the best thing to do here is just, if you don't want to run and get grabbed, you just pre-turn slightly and then just stand still, let him walk forward a bit, and then you just run away. Oh crap. Do this one more time. See if I can do it backwards. Okay, that's bad. Okay, don't turn backwards like that. Yeah, I'm sorry if this music's annoying. I'm just trying to see, like... Okay. Anyway, yeah, whole idea to get past Slow Marvin fast. Slow Marvin, just run out the same way you came in the room. Fast Marvin, you can try to outrun him, just make sure you do it without getting stuck on any corner of the room. So when you're trying to outrun him, you have to make sure you're giving yourself enough room to get out, and that when you run, he's not already tracking you. But I just prefer doing it this way, since it just works for me. But then he does that. Ow. I'm starting to doubt what I usually do now. So I start turning and he instantly turns? How does that work? Yeah, that sucks. Now if you don't want to do that, if you already have your grenade launcher on, you could probably get away with shooting him, but... Yeah, you could do that. If you don't want to dodge him, just frickin' shoot him. Alright, that's how you get by Fast Marvin. Now if you played Leon A, don't run in this direction. Go up the ladder. You'll hold upright, turn, hug the wall. And yes, you can get grabbed by that zombie if you stay too close to him. I've done it. Run up left, turn. Hold up right here and run, and then be straight shot to the second red gem input. I know some people do this. They'll do the detonator and then put the red gem, but it's a waste of inputs. So, best thing to do here is just do the red gem. And then when you go to blow up the wall, that's when you need to use it, because you have to use it there anyway. So you're not wasting any menu time doing it there. And here I'm gonna talk about combining real quick. When you go to combining the item, actually you're gonna want to hit down twice, but instead you're just gonna hit up and it'll bring you to combine immediately. And then for menu tricks, this is what I was talking about earlier with hitting right on your even side slots. If you hit right, it'll bring you diagonally across to slot 7 or whatever slot you're on. So from there you just hit right and you're already there instead of doing this. Then you make your detonator, blow up the wall, pre-turn so that you're angled towards here. Run straight forward and mash. Don't want to deal with that. I'm gonna pre-turn them so that you're facing towards here. Then you can get to the door. Obviously don't get stuck like I am right now. Hold up right here and run along the wall. Turn. Get a camera skip. Right here I'm going to show you guys how to do this cutscene with Cherry properly. Right, so from here, you'll find yourself doing this after you go to press the switch. But the better way to do this, well, let me actually trigger the cutscene so I'll show you what it looks like normally. And then you have to turn. But the better way to do that, as soon as you get to this doorway, you stop, pre-turn so that you're facing the light. So after you've pre-turned right here, you move forward a bit, mash at the same time so that you trigger the light. And that way after you hit it, you can just run forward and start the cutscene immediately. Oh. So yeah, so as soon as you get the camera change, stop, turn, start mashing while you're running forward or walking forward. And then you get the cutscene started.
Wait. Let me go. Easy, easy.
And here, just run forward, turn around, door.
Chief?
Wait.
Let me go!
Easy, easy there. I'm not a zombie. You're safe now. Leon, come in. I found the girl, and I've cleared the wreckage that was blocking the corridor.
Got it.
My name's Claire. What's yours?
Sherry.
Do you know where your parents are?
They both work at the Umbrella Chemical.
Wait, are you talking about that, Silent? Where you press the light from here? Oh, I just got it and I don't remember how. Like something like that? I think it's better to just do it this way because the amount of time it takes to do this, it's too much. As opposed to just, you know, turning around, having to angle it perfectly. Like, it's much better to do it that way. Because you're instantly turning towards the light and running towards Sherry. Like, that's much quicker. Instead of having to do it like this. Yeah, turn around. And then maybe back up if you missed it. Because that's how quickly you can do it if you're trying to do it all in one go. Yeah. Oh god. I missed the doorway. Yeah, I would just recommend doing it that way, man. It's much easier. It might take some time to get the movement down, but it's really easy. Alright, sorry about the random pausing. I had to like stop and talk to my mom. So if I go silent, you know why. Not because I'm in trouble, it's just I don't want to be talking on stream at the same time with someone else. Should I? Yeah. Whoops. So just hold up left and then run forward. Grab your heart key. Return a bit and then run. Avoid the bookshelf. Hold up right. Run. Run straight through the hallway in the middle. Oh man. The pun. Stairs here, nothing too technical. Although if you want to save a bit of frames, you can try to aim for the edge that as soon as you go to turn, priority goes up or down the stairs. But not a huge deal. No need to pre-turn here, you can just hold up right, and then as soon as Claire's angled, just hit the corner, turn. And these stairs here, no, they're not trolly, you just turn. Oh, forgot to save before the dog. So the dog down here, you can dodge on either side of the wall. Left side, you kind of have to run a little forward towards him and then quickly juke to your left. But if you're not wanting to take that, not really a risk, but kind of hard to get. Also because you have to run very close before you go towards the wall. But if you're not feeling up to do that, you just run on the right side. Not like that though. Okay, maybe just run to the left side. That seems a lot easier. Yeah, just run towards the left like that. Here we're gonna enter the save room and exit to spawn Sherry. What I like to do here, instead of turning around to open the door, I'll hold back and turn at the same time, so that, I don't know, I guess it puts me closer to the door in a sense, although it probably doesn't matter. Just feels a little faster to turn backwards and turn towards the door at the same time.
Sherry, I've been looking everywhere for you. I was so worried.
Sherry coming up, we're just gonna run straight towards the service lift. Oh, oh, go away, windows, please. So the dog there is kind of a little hard to dodge if you don't run forward at an angle. Doesn't have to be too much. Just move Sherry a tiny bit to the right. And then when you run outside, the dog will try to bite. So strangely enough, Sherry outshines Ada in this room for some reason. In terms of pushing ability. So this box here only takes 6 pushes. Wait, I think I did too much. Hold on a second. That was too much. I get the 5.5. Fail. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I did 7 pushes. Yeah, you're right. My bad. Yeah, so it's just 6 full pushes. And then you have to climb over. No, unfortunately, the shitty thing about Cherry is, I'll show you in a second. Morning. Make sure you push that all the way. When she's climbing up, she has a chance of dropping her leg, and then she has to climb up again. And, oh yeah, don't do that, by the way, with her. If you're playing Ada, you climb over the boxes, but a Sherry, since you don't want the leg drop, and it's quicker to push the box out of the way, you just push this out of the way. Push it to create space, and then push this one back. So it's like 2.5 or 2 and a tick. Pre-turn, then yeah, you have to stop and turn there too as well. Now for key pickup, this is what I do. Instead of doing it this way, So instead of having to stop and turn to get it, I'll just start turning Sherry at an angle to pick up the key, and then just keep holding in the direction I want to turn while running. And here we're just gonna run along the wall. And this entire wall where the service lift is, you can activate it, so you don't actually have to go inside the service lift. You can just activate it from here.
Claire, are you there?
So just walk forward a bit to grab the key. Actually, you have to go to your right. So dogs coming up can be a little random, but you can always dodge them. So for the dog at the end of the alley here, you'll notice how he's turning his head towards the left. I'm gonna use that as a indicator of what side I can move, because he's gonna be moving in that direction anyway. So I believe he's gonna go towards the left. Yeah, he's hogging the left side of the hall there. So you can just do that to give yourself leeway. Ow. Try that again. Turning his head. Man, maybe I should have just kept running forward. I thought he was gonna jump towards the left. Like that. But he didn't. So while you're here, whoops. So I get to this point of the camera chain and stop. Obviously I don't wait for this long, but I get to this part of the hallway, walk for like 1 or 2 steps. And usually liquor jumps like that. I don't want to say it works all the time if you do it like this. But that happens, I guess, because I didn't walk enough. So run, stop, walk a few steps. Oh. So I guess run, get camera chain, stop, walk. There we go. I can try it, let's see. Nope, didn't work. Yeah, it's not working. Unless I'm just doing it wrong. But the liquor keeps moving. Damn. Walk 2 steps, get hit. Okay, was that 3? 1, 2, walk 3. Alright, so I guess walk 3 is the best way to do this. So run, camera change, stop. Yeah, okay. What if you shoot the liquor, then it dies? Oh. Try that dodge one more time. That's Sherry. Yeah, I probably want to pre-turn there, so turn just a tiny bit, then run. Then when you reach this corner, what the hell did I get stuck on there? Anyway, reach this corner, and when I try to line up, Claire said that she already started facing the door, so you can just mash like this. Maybe a bit more, because I'm obviously not hitting the door. Yeah. We're just gonna hug the wall on this side and run into the zombie. Nice. The Morphin and power puzzle. You can actually get by these zombies without having to move much, but all depends on the angle you're running at. So if you're running already straight towards the door in the middle, you'll generally don't have to move, but a lot of the times you'll have to make a minor adjustment on the second zombie to your right. But really easy dodge to get. Make sure you move past the first zombie. We're going over Blue Hole. Oh, I saw that zombie around the corner. Do I need to draw for this one, or should I just explain it without drawing? Uh-oh. Anyway, there's 3 different ways you can do this. I'll show you the slow and safer method. That's how you would do it safely, without having to go in between all of them. If you want to get a better visual, you run forward a bit until you get the camera chain so you can see how much space you have to get by the zombies, and pretty much at this point you can run by them. You actually don't need to wait that long. Especially with Claire, you can just run by him very quickly. That's the safer method. Fast one I already did, which I'll go over in just a second. Damn it. That's currently the fastest way to get to that room right now. This is another variation of it from Jake Tabor. Whoops, forgot to turn to my left. That's kind of like the slower one, but you enter from this side to get through the middle. So it's kind of like a half YOLO horde. But it's a lot harder to get because you can't really see the opening between those last two zombies in the back row. Okay, so how to do this one? Let me kill all the zombies so I can just explain much better. Alright, so out the door, you're going to be facing in this direction. And you need to be running exactly like this at the start. So you curve in, and then you get to this point of the camera change. Once you're here, you should already be turning in this direction towards the wall. And the zombie in front that's right here and the wall, you should already be like somewhat further away, so he gives you enough space to get through on this side. So it's gonna be like that. And you want to make sure that you're facing this way by the time you pass the corner, because if you're turning too much this way, this zombie right here that's around the corner is gonna kick up and grab you. So you want to make sure by the time that you clear this part of the wall that you're already facing towards the middle. Now, as for like how you want this line to look like, you can get away with running towards the payphones. Like, it doesn't have to be like really precise. You just want to make sure that your opening line starts off like this, because you want to shift the zombie away from the wall. So you're gonna run like that, curve into the wall, straighten out as soon as you make contact with the wall. And then after that, it's just a matter of just keeping your character from moving to the side when you're going in between all the zombies. Let's see if I can... Oh, and there's also invisible wall on that part. Should be aware of. Let me see if I can do this frame advancing. So here I'm already starting to run towards the zombies. And then camera change, I want to start turning towards the wall. And then move towards my left and not get grabbed by him. Ah! This is really hard to do frame advance wise. Oh man, this is so hard to do frame advancing. Like, you would think it'd be easier, but I don't know. It's just so much easier to do it in real time. It's right there. I have the space I need to get by the zombie. And now you can see the zombie around the corner that I was talking about. You don't want to be angled towards him. You want to move away like that. It gives you safe passage. And then that's pretty much the entire dodge. Like, you just need to get that part down, and then from there it's just staying straight to clear the rest of the horde. Just make sure you don't turn too early to the left or right, especially the right side. And then after that, you completed the dodge. You always want to make sure you have a really clean line when you pass the wall. So red hall, you're gonna run towards the left side of the hallway, although you can just run straight, especially if you have a slow zombie like that. Like there, you can just run by him, but I usually like to just take the chance of running on that side in case he's fast, because if he is quick, you need to run at the start like that, and then juke to the right as soon as you get close to him. That's how you get past the first zombie. Second part of Red Hall, you can take the outer line like this, get by both zombies. Man. Like that. Or if you want, you can be risky and go in between the wall and cut the corner like that. You can do that with both Leon and Claire. Now if you're not comfortable doing it while running, you can stop and then line yourself up to run around. Like it does look like you have space, but the opening's there. You just have to make sure the zombie doesn't instantly turn, which can happen. So if he does instantly turn, you still have time to react to it, because well, like, you'll know, like right there, he already tried to turn and grab me. So you have time to back off. Like that. And then you can just run around normally if that happens. But usually if you run out forward, you can bait him out a tiny bit like that. Yeah, that's hard. I'm gonna grab the... I don't know what piece this is. And just 180 towards the door. Take the inner line in the middle of the room. Pre-turn here about, 45 degrees. Run straight towards the door here. The liquor here, I'm not sure if silent is still here, but this is what I was talking about. When you enter this room, you want to run forward like that, so the liquor does the tongue lash when you enter. And that'll give you enough time to hit all the faucets. Alright, you're here, so show you the liquor dogs here. Oh, did it wrong. Alright, so slow that down just a tiny bit so you can see what's happening. So I'm just running forward. Also, excuse the game sound for being choppy. And you want to run forward until you're like this close. And then you can start turning, and you can see the liquor already trying to do the tongue attack. So you want this to happen because it's a long animation for the liquor. That gives you enough time to start up this puzzle. Now if he does that, you can probably just run around the table, but you can just tank the hit from him. Oh wait, I didn't even press the second one. Whoops. Yeah, sometimes he does that, so you can either choose to just race towards the faucet and press it and take the hit, or run around the table. So right when the cogwheel drops, you can just hold up right. Might have to hold right just a tiny bit more when you're doing this. Well, I want to kill this liquor because it's really annoying. Yeah, I mean, here, let me try to go through that dodge again, because pretty sure he can't go on the other side of the table as long as you're constantly moving. But like, as long as you're forcing him to run on the other side of the table, then he'll never hit you. But like, well, let's see what happens if I take too long to do this. Or if he does that. Sometimes he'll jump. Which means you have to run around the table, let him chase you. Which... So that there's not too bad, as long as he's not hitting you. But in most cases, like, if you enter the room like this, he'll always like try to chase you around the right side of the table and get stuck on it. Alright, so after you press the switch, you're kind of lined up at a bad angle to run into this table, so you could free turn, but I just hold upright and turn until Claire's facing through here. And after that, you don't really have to do too much adjustment, you can just run straight. And then when you get past this table, you turn slightly to your left and start mashing. Obviously, since the cogwheel's not there, I can't show you. Let me spawn it real quick. Yeah, if you're angled correctly, you won't examine this painting. Whoops. Just, this happens a lot. You'll go to examine this instead of picking up the cogwheel. So to avoid that, you want to make sure Claire's facing a little bit more this way instead of like that. Like, it's that easy to just whiff on the trigger here. So just make sure you turn enough to where Claire's facing the cogwheel instead of the wall. Like, that's really easy to happen. There you can just fall. Oh my god. Oh, this dude here is kind of a pain in the ass, but you just want to hug the wall the whole time when you run by her. And you don't want to start turning until right, like right here. So even if he tries to spin around and grab you, it'll already be past there. And then that zombie, you just hug the right side wall. And for that zombie, you just want to be careful you don't get stuck on the bench. Like that. And then there's a little pointless dodge you can do here. Fortunately, the game didn't give it to me. So I'm gonna reload the room. This is much easier to get with Claire than Leon, but this game. Man, 3 times in a row, he's slow. Try it one more time. If he's not moving quick, then just move on. There we go. And then I fuck it up. But thankfully, that's not mandatory. It's just there. So I'm gonna pause it so I can show you which zombie you need moving. It's the one in the yellow shirt. Or the middle zombie. If he's moving quick like this, then you can get it. Since I turned too late there, I'm not gonna be able to clear it. So need to start turning right here. It's hard to see where you are, so this is something you have to repeatedly practice to get the movement, and then you need to already be able to turn into the zombie horde like this. And then there's your spacing for the zombies. And then bam, you're done. But why do that when you can just go around them? Doesn't really waste too much time. So getting by the lectors is easy, he's not moving, so you can either run past him like this, or you can pre-turn if you're afraid of getting hit. Just make sure you pre-turn enough that you don't get sliced on the way out, because this will happen if you don't move enough. Yeah. Well, it's hard to do it on purpose. Like that. You just want to give yourself enough room to run by it. Don't turn a tiny bit and then run. You just run into the liquor and get sliced. But apparently I can't get it to happen when I need it to, but just run by the liquor. So right on the camera change, when you want to start turning. So that right there is enough for Claire to reach the stairs. And then for the liquor up here, that's all I really do for him. Oh, got hit. Oh, got hit again. So, run, camera change, walk 3 steps. Nope. Okay. So that's what I do for that. I'll run at the start till I get the camera change, and then walk about 2 steps. Man, it's really hard because I can't hear them. And then after the second step, I start running. Man, let's just do it without that. Anyway, so I run, walk 2 or 3 steps, and it causes the liquor to jump most of the time. But doesn't work out all the time. Like that. So other way you can try doing it is run forward and then walk a bit to the liquor, and then run around it when you get close. Yeah, I can't really think of a really consistent method other than those. Like one where you never get hit. Because here I'm just kind of chancing it based on that alone. You can try different methods of running and walking to get past them. But if it doesn't work, just take the hit if you can afford it. There, your crank's already in slot 2, so need to move right. And then cogwheel over here, the very bottom. Move forward, get the other half. Oh, that was bad. There we go. Then all you do here is just run towards the liquor's left side. Yeah, assuming you're not taking damage everywhere else up to that point, then taking a hit from that liquor is okay. As long as it's not the head chop or even the tongue lash. But tongue lash only happens when you're doing like walking and stopping and stuff like that. Anyway, run towards the broken floor. All you need to do is just run forward and you're already lined up to press the switch. I want to try your best not to get caught up on the bookshelf, particularly this one, because these two are already moving towards the right. So it's impossible to get caught in between. Except maybe this one, but usually you're already running towards the right, so it's impossible to get caught. This is the very last set of bookshelves where you can get stuck on. And then you want to turn towards your left here to exit. Alright, so liquor dodge up here. I do it exactly like this. Oh, it didn't work though. That's interesting. Maybe I'm doing it wrong. Or it's just not working on this whatever game state I saved on. That's what's supposed to happen. He's supposed to jump. Like, do you just keep running from the start towards him? Because he's not jumping for me, but that's just how I do it. So I get to this part of the... No, a little further up. It's like right here, I start turning to my left and turn towards the right immediately. And if I do it right, he should jump, but probably not doing it correctly. And I only know this because Krantz used to have a video for this. But since then, he stopped, or he got rid of all of his like RE2 stuff. Try walking, maybe? Yeah, a lot of the liquor dodges I do, they involve walking after you run for a certain distance. But for this one, I've never done that. I've always just ran to the corner like that. It's not really working. Oh, you can either try... Oops. Alright, so for my method, I just run along the railing here until I get there, turn towards my left, and then immediately go back to the right. I don't know why it worked that other time. So you can either try my method if it works out for you. If that doesn't work for you, then you can try running, get to the corner, stop, and then run again. Or if you want, you can also do that. But that's slow. Let's just get one dog and get out. Yeah, I actually have no idea about positioning for PC. I always assume it's the same because everything I've practiced on GameCube, it works on any other version fine. Except for maybe the spider in the sewer. Never really thought about this. If it's better to do the blue piece first. Or just do that piece. Or actually, yes, since this is second, then you do that. Yeah, probably best to do it in that exact order then. Right there, you don't want to run around too wide. Since Claire's in a really shitty position, you have to like stop, then turn a bit, then examine the door.
I'm going down there.
So, we have to pick up the acid rounds behind Claire on the right. So turn around, grab them. Have to go in the menu here for the grenades. Combine it with acid for the boss fight coming up. So it's important that for this fight that you don't hit any of the smaller embryos. So even though I was aiming at hip level and didn't hit any of them, I wouldn't recommend doing that because you can't actually shoot the smaller ones. They'll jump in front of the grenade and take the hit. So if you want to be a little safer, you can aim up and shoot for the entire fight like this. And you'll avoid hitting any of the smaller ones. Now if you want a quick shoot, you can also do that aiming up. And I'm pretty sure none of the embryos even get out. They all die for doing this. Also another way you can quick shoot if you don't want to aim up and do that. You just have to get a little closer, like right here, and you can start shooting him. But I feel like it's better to not even move up. I recommend just default to this. Don't worry too much about quick shooting, especially with the grenade launcher, because problem with Claire, I'll show you upstairs. Problem with grenade launcher shooting is that for quick firing, the trajectory doesn't stay the same. So this is what it looks like when you're not quick shooting. It stays at the same height. But if you're quick firing, well, it's hard to see. But now you get a better angle. Yeah, this works. But notice how some of the shots are going lower. That's the problem with grenade launcher quick shots, is that they start firing as soon as she puts the grenade inside. So if you aim up, it keeps it at a pretty reasonable height, so you can still hit whatever you're shooting at. So anytime you decide to quick shoot with the grenade launcher, you want to keep aiming up. But if you're not quick shooting, then you don't have to worry about losing any kind of damage. Especially for like the G mutant, if you're getting up close, then you don't need to worry about aiming up. You just run up to it and shoot. So that only takes 5 acid shots to kill. Here we're gonna get our first interaction with Sherry. So, problem with Sherry when you're running around with her is Claire. If you run too far, she'll lose track of you and stop moving. Like that. She won't follow you if you move too quick. So in order to avoid that, you want to memorize like how many steps it takes for you before you lose sight of Sherry. So, let's see. You can run about like halfway through the room and she's already stopping. Like just like run through every room and see how much space you can cover before she starts like doing that. Or you can like do the Claire shuffle where you start moving like this. I wouldn't do this the whole way through, just kind of throw it in every, I don't know. Like just throw it in occasionally when you're running. You don't have to be doing it the whole time to keep her with you. You just need to make sure you're not too far away. But I would suggest just memorizing every room and figuring out like how much you can run before she stops, and then that way you can get through every room quicker with her. So I count this. So 9 running steps is pretty safe there. And then you can run towards the door. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I'll let her catch up, but you don't have to worry about losing Sherry here. You can keep running and go to the switch. Same with the room up here. The Sherry section's pretty short, so only thing you have to worry about is the roaches inside the ventilation hole. And zombies can't grab Sherry, thankfully. They can only puke. So you don't have to worry about getting grabbed. So this part really sucks. There's nothing you can do about it. Whether you get hit here is pretty random. Sometimes the roaches don't come out until you're at the end. Sometimes they break out as soon as you start moving here. So, in my case, I got the late roach. Oh, nope, got tagged there. Not much you can do there. Pretty much if the game gives you bad luck, then you have to deal with it. And grab the wolf medal and you're done with Sherry there. Don't cut the corner too early like that on this spider. It looks like you can, but you can't. You have to go a little further out before you run. I do this from time to time. I get really greedy and try to cut the corner. So just go further out. Don't worry about cutting that. Spider here will try to poison you, but never get to, but there is a small chance when it's on the wall. Oh. Gonna go ahead and use the valve here. But sometimes you'll miss completely on the activation on this. So it looks like I'm about to use it. But I'm not close enough, even though I'm clearly facing it. So I had to move just a tiny bit up for that to work. So you just get a feel for where you can use it, so you don't end up accidentally missing. Don't have to reload the grenades. Gonna grab the flame round here. Oh, crocodile fight's really straightforward. All you have to do is press the switch, and then wait for him to grab the... Now you'll notice how he takes a little time to pick it up. There's a faster method for this, but it's also risky. So if you're looking to speed that up, you have to wrap the canister on a specific animation of the crocodile. And the animation you have to do it on is when he's moving his head towards the wall. Like that. And he does it a total of 3 times. So on the third one you want to press it. But here's the problem with the strat. If you press it too late, even though the game like shows the canister on the ground, it doesn't actually like register because it's still falling onto the ground. So you have to time it perfectly for this to work. But you can already notice the difference. He's already picking it up the moment it falls. But if you do it too early, it's not bad. It's just, you'll get the same result if you were to press it without waiting for the animation there. But that's the only risky thing, is just pressing it too late. So, there's the first roar. Second. And that's the third one you want to watch out for. So as soon as you see his head swinging towards the wall, like right here, is when you already want to be pressing the switch. So I would suggest just saving on this part. And just work on pressing the button in sync with that animation. You want to always wait for the third roar. Or not third roar, just the third head swing. And don't press it like that. And then I aim down to save some frames on aiming. Yeah, I hope it makes sense. I mean, it's not an easy strat to get first try. You're gonna die a lot. So turn around, grab the wolf medal. That's another annoying area for Sherry to move in. It's very easy to get stuck here trying to make sure she moves. But right here is a good spot to get her to stop, because you don't want her following around this part of the area, because she's terrible at moving around corners. So right there is a good spot to keep her. And then you grab this eagle medal. One thing you want to keep in mind with the pickup here is you want to make sure you're just about like right here. Maybe more. Like just enough so that you're stepping on the guy's leg before you pick it up. Otherwise, if you press it too early, you'll examine the body instead of the medal. then when you're making your way back here, Sherry should start getting up, or not. And then you can just make your way around here. Now, there are times where she does get stuck somewhere else. I don't know. I think it's gonna happen right there. Yeah, you'll notice how she's getting stuck right now. Yeah, that sucks. So you want her to get stuck in the middle. And then when you're on your way back to picking her up, if you start doing that, just don't move for a bit and let her fully turn around so she doesn't get stuck. And then you can use the valve. And then here's another spot where if you keep moving, Sherry also stops. Oh, you'll notice how she starts running in towards the wall. You want to avoid that. Wait a bit, and then run. So right when she's like moving like this is when you can safely exit. So if you want to avoid that, just give her time to actually get around that stupid wall. Oh, forgot to save. Another room you have to keep track of your movement so you don't outrun Sherry. Sure to equip the flame rounds either there or when you're using the valve. Forgot to mention that. Up around the corner to let Sherry catch up. Here you can probably... Can you get away with Sherry getting stuck? Nope. In the spider room? Yeah, it can happen. I've seen it. It's happened to me before and it sucks. Like, she'll get poisoned. Or not poisoned, but the spider will try to spit on her and then she'll like spin around and start running towards the wall. Like, it's really weird. She even does it in the room with the zombies sometimes. So you want to equip the flame rounds either... I'll show you. Because I'm pretty sure nobody wants to tank the bite in the tunnel. So you want to equip them when you're using the valve right here. Or when you're putting in the metals. Yeah, I don't think it is clear. So here's another spot where Sherry will just turn around for no reason. If you pre-turn all the way like this and start running, he does that backwards walk and then turns. So instead, just run. Instead of... Probably cut that line down just a tiny bit, but don't turn too much at the start. Yeah, you can dodge it. It's possible. It's just, it's not worth taking the bite because you don't get heals. That's clear. That's another room where you have to keep track of Sherry again. It'll get lost very quickly. So once you get to that middle part of the area, just give Sherry some time to catch up. Like, right here you can stop, let her run a bit. Shoot the zombie and she'll already be behind you. And here, pretty hard to keep her while running. That's what happens if you keep moving. Where is she? She's all the way in that corner. Nice. As you can see, Sherry's really bad here. This is how bad she gets. She ran away from me already. Nice. Think you can get this without having to stop? Let's see. Alright, so that's how you do it. You have to run into the wall. Like this. Where's she going? What is she doing? This is running into the corner. Yeah, that's the one problem if you try to do this running. So if you don't want to deal with Cherry getting stuck in corners, just give her time to catch up. Dodge the zombies safely. And right as I say let her catch up, what does she do? That's the thing that sucks. If there's a zombie in front of her, she starts running away. Yeah. Damn. She already stopped? Are you serious? That's the worst Sherry I've seen in a while. I don't know if it's the save state or she's just normally this bad that I never realized it. She already stopped moving, jeez. Like I'm sitting there trying to show an easy way of doing this, but it's not working. Because I want to go quickly. Anyway, you guys get the idea. Just let Sherry catch up and don't try to get through this area quickly. So here we're just gonna do the standard route. We're not gonna do the explosive arrow skip. Go ahead and grab the flame round. I need the fast, probably grab it, especially since you don't get a free heal from anybody in this game as Claire. You're most likely going to need that. Oh boy. That's also another long distance room where you need to not outrun Sherry. But thankfully this is the last you see of her as Claire. So right out the door you probably want to stop here or maybe stutter step a bit to let Sherry catch up. And then from here it doesn't really matter if you keep running, she'll catch up. Nope, that's the wrong door. Yeah, that's how you would want to stutter step with Sherry. Just throw it in like that. So it's still a pretty moderate pace instead of just spamming it like this. That's actually pretty quick. Anyway, sorry, that's just entertaining to look at. Like ice skating. You don't need these flame round pickups, but if you need it for extra lab zombies then you can grab it. But I'm probably not gonna use them, so go ahead and start the boss fight. Oh yeah, so first thing you want to do is go to combine on the grenade launcher first, and then go to your flame round, then you go down to the key. Rainbirkin for Claire is actually easier compared to Leon. You just need to stand in one spot and just fire away. How many was that? 8 shots. Oops. Yeah, so it takes 8 shots to kill him. On the 7th shot is when he starts weakening. You want to wait a tiny bit before you start shooting again. Because if you keep shooting when he's still doing this, it does no damage. So that bird can bleed out for a bit there. You can also throw in quick shots if you want to. If you're good at grenade launcher quick shots, then always go for this. Oh, I shot when he's invincible. Whoops. And if you want to be really ballsy, you can do this, but it's harder. Oh, I don't think I got the right. And that's how you would do it, the fast way. But getting that kill that I got where I shot the floor is really hard. I don't ever do this because getting that position to even work is already hard as it is. Because you can't drop your second quick shot or any for that matter. Oh, even if you do quick shoot, he still has a chance of hitting you. Yeah, I don't recommend doing this. Just go over here if you want a quick shoot. Was it 8? Okay. Anyway, that's the train breaking fight for Claire. Much easier than Leon since she stun locks the boss pretty much with her gun. Whoops. I covered that. So, you get to this point of the hallway, you can just slightly turn to your left. And you'll already be lined up to go through this side. You don't have to actually, like, run through the middle and then fully turn like this. You just have to be slightly turning to your left. And then you already go through there. And then for this door, you want to be like right here, yeah. Because if you try to open the door facing like this, you're not going to actually hit it. Once you reach this corner, you want to start turning inwards towards the door. And then the cold room, if you need the extra FAS, you can get it here. But at this point in the run, you won't have any room for heals. So, yeah, you can probably just save that for when you actually need it. But by the time you get to the Mo disc room, you have to get rid of it. You can equip the grenade launcher here if you want. I don't like it because it screws with the liquor AI for me, and would prefer to just dodge things without any of that. Here, pre-turn slightly to your right. Move forward. Here, you can just start running to your left immediately. You don't have to pre-turn. For this switch here, I was already facing in the direction, but just want to run into it like that instead of doing it like this, pressing it and then having to turn around to go through. So just press it when you're already facing towards the door, so by the time that's opened you can just run straight through. So this ladder here, you can pre-turn, just don't turn too much because you can actually open this door. So I guess a much safer way to do it is just run forward a tiny bit, then turn, so you avoid accidentally opening this door. Like that. And then pre-turn all the way around till you get to the door. So for this dodge, you wanna run along this wall here, and then when you get to this point on the corner, you wanna walk for 1.5 steps, maybe 1 to 2 steps, but definitely 1.5. Then run around, walk, then run again. And if you do it correctly, the liquor should react like that. But sometimes the third liquor doesn't want to jump and he'll just go for a slice instead. But if that happens, it's fine. It's better than getting jump slash. Oh, there it goes. Waiting for that to happen. I would get Dark Souls personally. Damn, can I get that to happen again? Yeah, just run alongside the outer part of the hallway until you get to the corner. Then when you reach here, just start walking and then run. I mean, it's up to you, whatever you can afford. If you like Friday the 13th, then I would probably buy that. Like, whichever game is more interesting for you. I'm doing this all wrong. Alright, here we got the 10-step program, and it literally takes 10 running steps to get around this corner. So, starting from here. So, right around the 10th step you can turn. Otherwise, if you turn too early, you're gonna end up running into the wall. So on the 10th step, you can turn. Maybe not that early, but yeah, get the idea. There's another FAS if you need it. I'm gonna take the outer line to get by this zombie, and go on the inside to get past him. I'm gonna shoot him real quick so I can explain how to grab this card key without getting hit by him. Sometimes when you try to grab this thing, you'll struggle and whiff for a bit before you grab it. Alright man, take care dude. Get some rest. So try your best to grab the key without missing. And then it doesn't, oh, probably better if I went on the outside instead of the inner. I didn't realize how close he was.
William is still alive. He's getting stronger with each skin he casts.
Oh, that's another cutscene where your positioning kind of matters. So there's some cutscenes where wherever you enter from, you may lose some frames, because let's say I wanted to run towards the net from this side. Claire starts walking towards the right side more. I can avoid that if I already go to that side. Or not. I guess it's the middle. Does she always walk towards her like that? I don't know. I always assume that if you walk down the middle... I guess not, but there are some cutscenes where your character will waste frames turning or something.
skinny casts
So you can
off.
kind of counter that by
Sherry!
facing at
Tell
the
me
right
what I
angle
need
before
to
the
know.
cutscene starts.
How can I save Sherry?
I have detailed information.
You don't have to worry about that though. There's not many of those in the game. Alright, so flicker exit, probably the hardest one to get. So this camera change right here, right up to here, you have to cover the distance in 4 steps only, which is walk, run, walk, and then run. So by the time you're running, you should already have gotten this camera change. And the reason you have to do it that way is to force these lookers to move a certain way. Not very good at doing it. Even though I got past okay, it's not the correct way to do this. But honestly, you can try doing the dodge or the opening line like that. And if you can get by like this, then take it. Don't worry about like getting the actual outcome you're supposed to get. Because I don't really, not very good at it, as I said. It's a very precise movement that you have to do there. Or you can just brush up against the ivy without getting hit. So hold upright and run. And the ivy won't even try to attack you. Right, so Modisk Room is as clear as the hardest dodge in the whole game for me. Definitely up there with some of the Leon B dodges. Yeah, I remember that. That sucked. We don't talk about that. Oh man, yeah. This room's really hard to get. But I'm gonna show how it's supposed to look like. Dang it. Gonna show you how to do this without shooting a single shot. Yeah, that's too messy. You don't want to take that many bites if you're trying to go for no shots. Yep, turned too shitty there. Anyway, that's just something you would do if you wanted to go for no shots, but I'd recommend just doing it like this if you're starting out. Equip the grenade launcher, put the vaccine, shoot that zombie. Try to shoot the zombies in the middle. I know you couldn't see it off screen, but that's what I was aiming for. And then, I guess, tank that bite. But if you have more ammo to spare, you can clear the entire room if you need it. Damn it, I keep loading that wrong save. And then if you really want to go for no damage, you have to do this right. You have to shift the zombies away when you're walking out. Man, I hate that zombie so much. Then shoot this zombie. And then, yeah, that's how you would get a no damage modus room. Ideally, with killing one zombie. You only need to shoot that one next to the switch. Which is really hard to do to begin with. Is if they get past all the other ones first. But if you don't want to do any of that, if you have more flame rounds, clear out that whole room. But since I didn't pick up any extra, I'm forced to do this. Oh wait, did I not put... I didn't put it in the machine. Yeah, that's the shittiest room for Claire, unfortunately. They get no damage anyway. At this point, you can't pick up anything unless you use the mode disc. Coming up. Gonna run behind the ivy here. Room ahead. I'm gonna have to go for the naked zombie dodges since I don't have any ammo left to spare. I might have one flame round to use, but I don't want to waste it to begin with. So we're gonna go for the dodge. And get grabbed because he's super close. Oh shit. I thought I saved downstairs. That's how you would do it without stopping. But sometimes the zombie around the corner can be in the way. So instead of him being right here, he'll be over here instead or something. So try to get him to spawn on the closer side. If you're not comfortable running through here without stopping, you can stop at the second zombie and then run around it. But if you're able to run past the first zombie with no problem, then clearing the second one shouldn't get you. That's how you would do it if you want to go slower. If you don't want to do the dodges and you have flame rounds to spare, then you can kill them instead. Whether you want to use the Modus cure or not doesn't matter. If you need the space for the first aid spray, you can do that. Not sure why I grabbed that, since I don't need it. Oh, shoot. Well, before you use the Modus, you want to go to your grenade launcher first, equip the explosive rounds, and then use the Modus. So whether you do that early on or not, just make sure you equip the explosives before you start this fight. Because it's the only form of damage that's consistent versus them. Or maybe not consistent, but it's the most plentiful by the time you get to here. So this is a spot that I use for this fight. I'm gonna run off to the side and start shooting from right about here. And I'm not gonna quick shoot. fire 5 shots. Yeah, 5 shots to get it to this phase. And you can keep firing. And you just aim right about here for the corner. And then the boss is dead. Oh my god, did I not save again? Okay, I did. So you can quick shoot right after that first phase. Many times as you need to. Just make sure you pay attention to when he jumps. And then, yeah, that's literally the fastest way to do it. Or maybe second fastest. Actually, let's do that without the boss here so I can explain. Also do this. Right off the bat, you want to be right here, as I mentioned. And you're going to aim up and fire 5 shots for the first phase. And if you do it correctly, he'll go down. And then when the second phase starts, he'll start facing towards the elevator like this. And while he's doing that, he'll kind of take his sweet time to turn around, and you can get free shots on him from the same spot, so you can start quick firing. But usually after like the first 3 or 4 shots, he'll start trying to jump towards you, and depending on how he's reacting, he'll either keep jumping on this spot right here, or he'll jump up here. I don't think he'll ever jump up in this side, but definitely over here and here. And if he jumps up here, I have to show you when it actually happens. Harder to do now. So it's really important that you aim at the corner, because looks like he's not even gonna be able to jump. He didn't even jump up. But yeah, that's what a good fight would look like if he can get that. But sometimes he'll grab you in the middle of all that. Not much you can do there, except just take the hit and kill him. No, not supposed to run forward. But you want to aim for this corner, like right here, because Claire can't do damage to him when he's up this close. Unfortunately, you have to aim at that corner specifically to do any damage. But if you don't want to do any of that and he jumps up, just run to the middle and shoot from here. That took a lot more. What? This fight's supposed to only take, what, like 12 shots? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a 12-shot fight. Oh no, don't do it like that. Wait, why are we Leon all of a sudden? That's also one way for the strat to backfire. He'll jump towards you instead. Just keep that in mind. If you start shooting from there, he can jump towards you. But usually when he's up top here, you can just really shoot. Or not. Oh god, what is he doing? Yeah, that's the final Birkin fight is clear. Run over here. 5 regular shots. And if you don't want to use the spot that you're already standing in, you can just run to the middle once he comes up. Yeah. Oh shit. Oh, combo. Want to make sure that's actually consistent. Okay, that's just stupid. Yeah, if you don't want to use the spot over here, when he gets up, go in the middle, and most of the time he'll just keep jumping back and forth. But sometimes he can be really stupid and he'll just be jumping wherever he wants to go. But from what I've experienced, if he's already up here at that close, then he'll try to jump on the other side at least once before getting back down. Anyway, that's the strat I would recommend. I don't really know any other ones since I started doing that. I mean, you could try doing it like this. Trick shots, but I'm not really a big fan of where he starts off on the second hit. Like, it all depends on how quick you're shooting and where you stand. And I find this spot to work out the best. And you can pretty much do the whole fight without quick shooting, which is really good. And yeah, that's it for Clara. There's nothing left other than to go inside the elevator. And then board the train. Persona 5 tutorial. No way.
Sherry's unconscious.
I have the antidote. If I give it to her.
Claire, what's happened?
Not now. Come on, Cherry, wake up. Wake up. Please wake up.
Claire? Where am I?
It worked!
Oh, Sherry, you're gonna be okay.
Thanks, Claire.
It's over.
No. I have to find my brother.
You're right. This is just the beginning.
Ah, my God has protected you. It will always be with you.
Claire.
Sherry.
Probably gonna end the stream and highlight all this. 1 hour and 37. Oh man. Yeah, I'm too pooped to do a run. Is anybody else playing this game right now? Oh, I see someone on. Alright guys, well I hope the stream helped out if you wanted to learn how to run this game or learn a couple new things. Sorry if I didn't go into huge detail with every room. Not exactly something I do on the everyday basis, but I figured I'd give it a shot since there's not any like in-depth guide on this game. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and get off here and highlight this stuff so that anybody can check it out when they need to. Gonna go ahead and host. Let's see. Yeah, there's so many people playing right now. I'm gonna go ahead and host Quick Friends who's running RE1 knife only. If you actually want to see some runs, you can check her out. Anyway, thanks for watching guys. Bye!